This is a tricky question. Make sure that you understand how to set up the diagram this way, mark this way, by looking back at the question. Angle EGB is 50 degrees, angle DIG is 115 degrees, and they tell us that segment GH is congruent to segment IH. You need to be able to set this up in order to do the problem. Okay. Now that you have it set up, the next thing is to see that you have an isosceles triangle. So you can go across from each congruent side like that and like that to the congruent angles. So now you know these angles are congruent. Okay. Now that you know those angles are congruent, you could actually erase these if you want to, because we're going to work only with angles in this question. Now you got to look and see, what can you figure out? The first thing that you can figure out, well, actually there are two things that you can figure out right now. One thing you can figure out is that you have vertical angles here. So this must be 50 degrees. And that you have a linear pair here. So you have a total of 180 up here. So 180 minus 50 is 130. So you have 130 right here. The other thing that you can figure out is that you have a linear pair down here. So this total must be 180 degrees. So you can say 180 minus 115 and get 65. That means that this angle is 65. Then from there, we know these two angles are congruent, so they must have the same degree measure. So this must also be 65. We should be able to find this third angle here in the triangle, because we have, we'll just call this x. X plus 65 equals the total inside a triangle, which is 180. So x plus 130 equals 180. Subtract 130 from both sides and get x equals 50. So that means that this third angle here is 50. Then from there you can go vertical for this 50, and you can do linear pairs here for this 130 and this 130. And then there's only one angle left to find, which is right here. And we know that we have three angles up here that have a total of 180 degrees. 50 plus 65 plus this angle. So it's linear, but it's not a pair because there are three of them, but you can think of it as a linear pair. So then from there, I can add these two together. This is 115. Sorry, I forgot the x, or we'll call this y. Y plus 65 plus 50. So add these together, 115 plus y equals 180. Subtract 115. And get that y equals also 65. So that means right here, this is 65. And you were able to find all the angles in the diagram. If you found this example confusing, please go back and try it again. I'm sure it will be easier the second time.